Hey guys, welcome to the second part of my Fire Mage guide, 10.00, 11.00, so I'm still used to saying 10. This is just like a visual video analysis thingy of my, like a kill. This kill actually wasn't logged. We had a mishap. Our guy who logs Terrascent was benched for this fight just for like vault purposes. So we didn't have anyone logging unfortunately. But I mean, you'll see I do good damage. And I think I play okay. Let's find out. So, like I said, we're playing Master of Flame. We're not playing Heat Shimmer. Playing the normal single target build, which is what you play in every fight in this raid, pretty much. So yeah, opener. We're gonna Pyroblast PF. Fantastic. Then we're gonna Fireball, precasting into our Combust, and then I'm going to press Combustion, IB, and then I'm going to my Combust. If my Pyro crit in the opener, and obviously PF crits in the opener guaranteed, then obviously I would have Hot Streak. You don't spend the hot streak, you just fireball, combust, pyro, right? You just skip the IB. Effectively, your goal is obtain a hot streak before you press combust, right? Or like as you press combust. So you'll see here, I press combust, I IB, and I have hot streak right before my fireball finishes cast. And then so I'm just here now, pyro, IB, pyro, IB, pyro, PF pyro, IB pyro, PF pyro, IB pyro, PF pyro. I'm just using all my IB charges first. My IB charges are the blue bars. Let me rewind. I guess I didn't explain that. IB charges, blue bars. So you'll see I'll just spamming IB pyros until I'm out of IBs. Then I PF one time. Oh look, I have an IB back. I'm gonna use that. Using my IBs, PFs. Now I'm out of stuff. I do one scorch. I get IBs, so I start using IBs again. I'm in hyperthermia now, right? So our goal here is just spam pyros. We have two options in hyperthermia, right? We either wait till we're 3 charges to refresh or to press IB, or you can refresh Feel the Burn one single time in hyperthermia when Feel the Burn is low duration. I don't know which one I ended up choosing. I think here I just refreshed FTB. Let's see. Oh, I didn't do either. Yeah, that's fine. I exit hyperthermia, instantly combust procs as I was throwing out my PF. Fantastic. So I'm just playing now like just as if I'm in combust, right? PF pyro. IB pyro. Okay, so at this point I had 0 or 1 IB charges. PF is 1 charge and I have shifting. Combust is 17 seconds or more away, so I'm allowed to press shifting power. So I'm gonna do that. Gonna shifting. I overcap IB a little bit. It is what it is. Okay, cool. Combust is back, but you know, I have the streamer client, so I proc hypothermia right before combust. You're gonna see me make a mistake here, because I didn't realize it was a mistake until yesterday, or like 2 days ago. What you're supposed to do in this situation, where your combust is back and you have hypothermia, is you actually want to fireball precast still during your hypothermia, and then you press combust. So it would look like fireball, combust, pyro, 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 until your hypothermia is over. Okay? What I'm gonna do here, I imagine, is I'm just gonna combust and press pyro. Why is this better or worse? Which one is better? Well, I mean, just told you which one is better. It's the fireball. The reason is because while I am losing out one pyro out of combust, because I'm like, you know, casting a fireball during hypothermia, I'm gaining an entire extra spell in combust, fireball, because I'm doing the cast time before I press combust. That's all. That's like the main comparison, right? The extra fireball, the extra one entire extra spell in combust is better than the extra one pyro, and I end up just fitting an extra spell in combust basically because of that. I mean, I don't because I make the mistake here, but yeah, that's the correct way to play it. So this right now, where I just press combust, this is griefing. Do not do this. Remember, do the fireball. Yeah. Anyway, you're just gonna spam your pyros until they're gone, and then you go back, you know, your hyperthermia is gone, and then you go back to IBing. Worth mentioning, you'll notice I have a hyperthermia weak aura here. Highly, highly, highly recommend get this weak aura. I'll link this in the description if I don't forget. It's my hyperthermia weak aura, it's on my Discord. It basically tells you how many, like what your next spell should be. While this icon is like this, it says 1, it means I can fit 1 more pyro. Okay? I don't even care about this number or this icon. It's this that I care about. You see how it went PF icon really quickly at the last millisecond? This tells me that I'm done. So the moment I see PF, I know I cannot cast any more pyros with hyperthermia. Okay? Which is sometimes hard to do when you're just like in the moment. hard to recognize when you're in the moment and you're tracking only the buff duration instead of GCDs and stuff like that. So now I see this icon, so I know that my next spell should be a PF or an IB or something basically that isn't a pyro. So you'll see me here slamming my IBs again. I pressed PF right as I was refreshing as I was proccing a bunch of IB charges, so I'm gonna use my IBs now. Go back to PF, back to IB because I got one, I got another, so I'm gonna press it. And now I'm just back to hyperthermia. Once again, I have a nice weak aura. Get my weak aura package, I recommend it. Where right here you see this icon, see how it looks like the feigned death icon? This means I cannot fit any more spells. So even if I have IB here, I should not press it. Why? Because I simply cannot land the pyro that it's going to give me in my combust. So there's just no reason to press it, right? Instead, you just wait for hypothermia, like straight up, because there's nothing you can cast anyway. So yeah, I knew that, and I just spamming hypothermia pyros. See, I see the PF icon again, so I know it's PF next, or like IB. Oh look, streamer! Oh my God, streamer client! Holy shit! Okay, I proc a hypothermia and the combustion, so you know it's out of my hands. I'm just spamming pyros. That was a good refresh for FTB. If I go back, remember we can press IB one time in hypothermia only if you're about to hit 3 charges or to refresh feel the burn, as long as it's only one time. And you see me, I do it here, and it's obviously only when you have heating up, yeah? So for me, it was when I had heating up. Then back to just PF, IB, Pyro. PF, IB. I did double PF there, that's fine, it doesn't matter, as long as you're just using instants and you're not wasting a guaranteed crit. Why do I start fireballing here? So let's think this through. If I had just pyroed, then my combustion might be like 8-second cooldown if the pyro crits right now or something like that. And I would want to start pooling my IB, right? So saving my IBs for the combust that's about to happen, right? The reason I probably fireball here is because if I fireball pyro, then, you know, I'm just in filler and then I can start spamming fireballs, right? If I just pyro straight away, and then the pyro crits and I start casting fireball, then I have to spend the IB, right? If the pyro doesn't crit and then I start spamming fireball, that's also okay, right? So like I could have done what I'm doing now is the fireball pyro and then just spamming fireballs, or I pyro and if it doesn't crit, then I just spam fireballs again, and if it does crit, I do have a second PF that I could have done. Right? The only thing you care about right now is to not use IB and not putting yourself in a position where you have to use IB. Okay? So if I had 0 pyros, if I had 0 Phoenix Flames here, sorry, then I would be screwed if I pyro and it crits, right? Because then I'm wasting the heating up, so to speak. Which is, you know, granted not the end of the world, but yeah. See, I'm stupid. I use my IB here for no reason, so I'm not pulling correctly. But streamer client strikes once again somehow, like some crazy RNG. So I get my IB back for free. Now I'm pressing fireball. At the time of recording this video, I did not know that, you know, you should hold your hot streak because I only like tested that on the sim like yesterday. But yeah, once your combust is 3 seconds left, you want to start holding on to any hot streaks you have. So right now, you want to start holding this. I'm going to fire this because I didn't know that. Streamer client. Fuck it. You know, I proc another pyro. So I'm just going to go into combust straight away. Now, I shouldn't be scorching, right? I should be fireballing. But I'm like moving for a mechanic. There was no point in me moving because I got hit by 2 of them anyway. But yeah, see, like, I just want to enter combust with a precast here. So yeah, just precast, back in combust. We're just using our instant casts, nothing crazy. All our IBs, then my PFs, then my IBs again. You know, as soon as I get them back, I'm pressing IB. Yeah. The skull icon shows up. I know not to press IB again, so I'm going to go into hypothermia now. I'm just spamming pyros. The PF icon thingy showed up on my weak aura, so I know that my next GCD is not a pyro. It's just going to be like IB or PF. I pressed IB. And now I'm just using my instance, right? So PF IB pyro or PF PF pyro or something like that. Just generate hot streak. Obviously, if you have heating up, you're not going to press 2 crits. That'd be wasting 1. But yeah. I proc a hypothermia, so I'm gonna press pyros. Refresh field of burn. You can slow it down, I've already showed it. But yeah. Just back to PFIB pyroing. At this moment, my mentality is I have shifting power. I want to press shifting, right? So I'm going to try and burn through my instant cast so I can get to a position where I can shifting without wasting anything. So PFIB pyro, PFIB pyro. Right now I can shifting. Oh yeah, and that's what I do. I proc another hyperthermia. Fantastic. And a lust. And I have combust. Streamer client. At this point, remember what we talked about? I want to start fireballing here. Because I have combust and hyperthermia. I don't care that I have hyperthermia. I want to press combust. You always, always, always precast leading up to your combust cast. Yeah? So right now I'm going to combust here. This is a mistake. Like I just said. Always fireball before you press combust. Precasting fireball, very, 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 very important for your combustions. But regardless of that, I'm just going into my combustion, just pressing my IBs. Burn through all your IBs first, and then go back to your PFs. Oh, look, I have IB. I'm going to use that first. Back to IB, so on and so forth. Don't worry about the fact that you have 3 IB charges. Doesn't matter. Spam your IBs. Because getting out the maximum number of pyros is the single most important thing that you can do. Okay? We don't care about wasting PF cooldown or something like that. I mean, it's not great, but like, it's not the best play to press PF. You just want to use your IB charges first. This fireball is kind of a mistake. Remember, always use your PFs and your IBs. Once you run out of PFs, that's when you start casting fireball. So that fireball that I just did was kind of random and weird and a mistake. I was just panicking a little bit here. But yeah. Okay. So you can make mistakes in fillers. Like I'm making a decent chunk of mistakes. It's not the perfect pull. Obviously, I did get lucky in this pull. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah. Another hyperthermia going into combust. The funny thing is, I could have done so much more damage if I actually just precasted fireball before all these combust. Somehow, every time, like I got so lucky that I screwed myself over because I wasn't playing it right? So yeah, remember, just cannot hammer in that lesson home enough. Use your fireball precast for your combust. But yeah. Anyway, use up my IBs. You see I get like 3 IBs back from the meteorites from Glorious Incandescence. That's not RNG, that's just a guaranteed thing that will happen every 7 pyros. Yeah. Then back to hyperthermia. At this point, I'm looking for proccing my shifting power or using my shifting power. So I'm gonna use 2 IBs, or 2 Phoenix Flames, sorry. I got more Phoenix Flames, so I'm just gonna use them. At this point, I have 1 Phoenix Flame and no IBs, so it's fine to just send shifting. As long as you're on 1 Phoenix Flame or less, and you have like 1 IB or less, you're fine. And then just, yeah, back to PF IB Pyro. I did a Scorch there trying to predict the execute, but I like did it too early, so unlucky me. But yeah, this Scorch was bad. And then I did the exact same thing where I proc hyperthermia as combust coming up. But yeah, it's largely the same thing again. At this current time, I was under the assumption that you shouldn't refresh improved scorch during combust. Now I know that that's a mistake. You want to refresh it in the last 1 or 2 seconds. Maybe I refresh it here? No, I don't. So this was a mistake not to refresh, but it's pretty minor, honestly. But you do have definitely refresh it in combust, just below IB. So above prio from regular PF, but below IB. Okay? I think below empowered PF2 actually. It's worth noting, I guess. But yeah. These minutiae tend to be not that important. As long as you're just casting and you're pressing buttons, you'll be okay. But yeah, just casting Scorch because I have no PFs. Now I have some, so I'm going to use them. Nothing crazy. I should be PFIB good. Scorch because I'm out of stuff. Okay, I used 1 IB because hyperthermia was active and I had 3 charges. So, when you're in execute, you want to enter combust with a Scorch precast instead of a fireball precast. Okay? Main reason is because it helps you refresh your improved Scorch debuff before you combust. It still gives you the extra free cast in combust, so it's an extra heating up / crit. Yeah. And it's faster cast time, obviously. Thankfully, I do that here. How do we use Spy Masters? Very simple for fire. For fire, you want the maximum number of max stacks casts. So it takes about 4 minutes to stack up. So if the fight is 4 minutes to 5 minutes to 6 to 7 minutes, where you're only going to get one cast basically, right? Because it obviously reaches max capacity at 4 minutes. You only want to press it on your final combust of the fight and for the last 20 seconds of the fight, because obviously the trinket duration is 20 seconds, so you might as well just use it in the last 20 seconds. But otherwise, you're holding it till the last combust of the fight. I'm not going to go into super big detail into this. TLDR, the passive effect when you don't press the trinket gives you a ton of intellect. At max stats, it gives you up to 3,000 intellect the whole time. Once you use the trinket, that effect goes away in exchange for an on-use for a short period of time. So if you're only going to get one max stack use, you might as well use it on the last one so you can benefit from the passive attacks the whole time leading up to that point, right? If you use it on the first one, then you just don't have the passive attacks the whole time, right? So yeah. If you're at like 8-minute fight, obviously you can get 2 max stack presses, so you should do that instead. 1 at 4 and 1 at 8, or whatever. You want to kind of like think about it, but usually looking at logs is like the best thing for that. But yeah, use your IBs. Refresh my improved scorch here this time. It's good. Last second. Just pressing my IBs. PF because it was my last GCD. I had no more IBs. And then hyperthermia. Yep. Nothing crazy. That's the fight. That's the spec. I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions about my breakdown or something you didn't understand or you noticed something that I did which was weird or you don't get why I did it, just write in the comment, hey Forgy, at 12 minutes, 2 seconds, you did this, why? But yeah, hope this has been helpful. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the future. Peace.